Good morning, everyone. It's Eric with His&Hers HHQ. Real quick here. Yes, the interior of the van is a little different. That's because I got to looking at it and I was like, well, the seats are too far back. So I popped them off, and I don't have the steering wheel shaft painted for a reason, because I want to see precisely where and how the dash is going to mount, so I have that correct, and then I'll get it painted and leave the area where it's going to be glued or attached to the dash bare. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, that's all situated. It's on its wheels, obviously, and I don't think this here is turning out too bad. I like the oiliness up here, because it's just the look I'm going for. But this whole undercarriage just, I think, really is starting to sell it. But it's on its wheels, and that's what I was looking for. The dash is, well, pretty well done. It's not perfect. It's not going to win any awards, and, well, it's not going to go into a model show, but that's okay. You know, I like it. It actually works pretty well. And as I said, the seats were too far back, so I popped them off. I'll get some extra color in there and then remount them once the dash and steering wheel is in place. That way I have everything mounted where it would seem more appropriate. The grill is pretty well done. I did an amber, the clear amber, clear orange, the X26, the Tamiya, in the turn signal wells there. Even though I have the turn signals here, I did that just to have that extra color. The bow tie is done, and I've got some wear on my bumper going on here. The biggest thing is I need to get in the two clear pieces and the two amber pieces, and the front end is done. Side windows, the actual side windows, I actually cut those so it's just the wing windows and the wing window frame there. Here and probably tomorrow, well, tomorrow for me, because, you know, I still have yet to go to sleep. But tomorrow, which again is today, I'm going to mask these off and get those painted black, and then get some chrome on them. Rear bumper's done, and it's, you know, it needs a Brillo pad taken to it, get rid of some of that rust. But otherwise, I don't think it looks too bad. All right. The van body itself, I said I was going to go with the gray primer on the hood and a white side door, and I got to thinking about it, and I changed up where I was going with it. And, well, I think it actually turned out better than what I was. So I went with white on the hood, and as you can see, I've still have yet to weather the hood. You can see I've got some weathering going on here. And I went with black on the side door. Now I've got some buffing out to do and whatnot, but I think that rust job is actually turning out pretty daggone good. We're gonna flip it over here in a second. I think the roof actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna try and get rid of some of these marks here. But otherwise, I mean, if you're just looking at it like this, I think it actually looks pretty daggone good. But I've already started getting chrome on this side. I got these two bits here done because they are clear pieces here. There's the red ones for the back, and of course the amber for the front. I got the door handle there and the door handle here. But I masked this off, painted this a chrome silver. I'm going to put the black stripe down the center of it, and then get the rest of this trim work done. I'm going, once I pull this tape, it's something I was already thinking about doing and didn't do it on this side initially, but I'm going to get some more masking tape and lay it across, straight across, so I can get where the trim is here and get it weathered up so you can see that the trim piece was there. And then I'll get this side and get this masked off, but keep the masking tape going all the way across so that I can get the lines where the trim work is, or was. But I don't think it's turning out too bad. Anyway, it's actually kind of been a fun deal coming up with this. The off green here. Now the van body itself, let me see if I can find it again. It is satin moss green. And what I wound up doing, once it was dry enough to work with, I went in order to give it the, because you know, as the paint begins to rust, it begins to discolor. Like here on the bumper, let me see if I can get you a good shot. And right in here, or right there, what that is for this, I used a gray, timeless gray, to accentuate the area of rust, to give it the pre-rust, you know, the stuff that starts to bubble and discolor before the rust starts flaking through. That's what I did here. Well, on the van body itself, I used marsh green, and I stippled it on there with a sponge and got around all my pre-weathered areas. The bulk of the red there is the rust or the flat red primer after being sanded through. And then you get the discolored paint, and then the added rust effects on top of that. Now, I'm going to show you back here. I purposely saved that so I can show you. I know a lot of everybody jumps into the burnt umber and whatnot. But I'm going to show you real quick here. I'm going to use brown oxide. I saved this back corner just for this video. Now all I did was put just a little dab of it in my little lid here. And of course, let's get this up a little bit further so you can see this. All right, I'm going to dab it and then dab off the bulk of the excess, and then come in here and very gently, very slowly, I'm not like trying to shove down on it, I'm just letting the paint flow off the sponge as we're going along here. And then when it starts to look almost exactly the way I want it, I might give it a little rub there. And in this case, this here's an upper corner, so I'm going to try to bring this down just a little bit and bring it in a rub. And do the same thing across here. And basically what this is doing here is the rub itself is actually blending into the marsh green and giving us just that right kind of look. Then we're going to give it a little bit of streaking. We're pulling the paint down away from this part up here. Now, I don't remember if I actually showed it before, but we're going to come back in here, clean up our mess just a little bit. Now we're going to come back burnt umber, put us a little dab in there, break out our ever-present favorite little brush, and then right in here, especially this spot here, we're going to come in here and try to give it that extra bit of reaction, that extra little bit of story that says this spot here just wasn't taken care of. I mean, it's quite clear the van body itself isn't or hasn't been very well taken care of. Now, we're not going to go over the whole bit, but some spots will come in here and we'll give it that little extra, just a touch, because we don't, it's not overly rusted, but it's saying creepy. It's saying it's taken care of mechanically. Cosmetically, it's rather abused, I guess. And the beauty of this is, as it dries, this burnt umber really just begins to accentuate the other colors we got going on here. We're not doing or picking out specific patterns or specific looks, but as it dries and it gets to bring on that look there, it's just really telling the story. Go a little bit here. Yes, I just totally Bob Rossed that. We're bringing out the happy rust here. The happy little bit of rust. It just says, I'm overloved. I don't know. I guess. Something like that. A little bit here, little bits here and there. Now, I don't do many of these because I'm not very talented, I guess you could say, with the streaks, but I figure if I give this just enough, maybe it'll give me just that look I'm looking for. So yeah, I saved the bulk of this, what I was doing. I realized that I was getting kind of ahead of myself, and I wanted to be sure I shared this with all of you. The beauty of working with these acrylics is if you screw up, you can just come right back to it with a little bit of water and clean it right on up. But okay, so there you go. Now this is what I've been slowly doing and working my way around the van body. It's always, I don't know, for me it's fun and relaxing, and it's just one of those things just to sit back and see what you can create. If you wanted to, you could go in, like, I mean, this area is covered by masking tape, but you could go in a little bit further on the inside here, either one of those spots, and do a flat black, and it would give the force perspective of an actual hole. Or you could just leave it as is and be done with it right there and just let it all speak for itself. It's the extra shadows and whatnot that trying to pull out there. This has just been one of those things. Yes, I know the kit is the AMT Chevy Rescue van, but I'm going for it's my sense of humor, my dysfunctional veteran sense of humor, and judging by the van body now, I'm sure a lot of you can get precisely where I'm going with this. So I'm really right on track. The interior's almost done. Once I have the seats back in place, then I'll get all the scatter and the detritus, the jetsam or floatsam up in there, the extra dirty and whatnot. But yeah, so once the dash is in place and I have the seats in place, then that'll be done. The framework, the chassis, that's pretty well done. I'm going to give it a dusting now. The pigment, that was the word I was trying to think of the other day. Pigment. But yeah, and I've already actually picked out a license plate. I'm going to go with buy. And once you see the finished product, you'll understand. And please understand, it's my sense of humor, and it's just meant to be funny. So anyway, we've come to the end of the video. We've done the update, and well, thank you all for joining me. I'm Eric with His&Hers HHQ. If you haven't yet, head on over to Facebook and follow us at His&Hers Hobby Headquarters. We are also on TikTok at His&Hers HHQ over there. And if you haven't yet, take a moment, like and subscribe. You don't even have to like, just subscribe. It's free. You give it a like. That is fantastic. Share the content. Spread the word of scale model building. It's a really fun, even though it can be frustrating, yet entertaining way of really letting your imagination go. Thinking for yourself and just really doing what you want to do. That's the point of model building, is build for you. And as always, take a moment, comment below. It may be 5 minutes, it may be 5 days, but I do try my hardest to be interactive and reply. I know there's been a handful of them I've missed, and for that I apologize. But I do try to be as interactive as possible. So again, thank you all very much for the wonderful comments. Thank you again for subscribing, all the old subscribers and the new subscribers. Thank you, and see you in the next video. I'm Eric. Have a good day.